Do you know that you can actually go back in time and heal your childhood trauma? Let's find out how. Welcome to the Law of Attraction World channel, the channel you need if you want to manifest all your desires into reality. The Law of Attraction is all about manifesting what you want by focusing on it, having positive emotions towards it, and taking actions when the time comes, taking inspired actions whenever you are required to. But sometimes what is stopping you from manifesting is the negative beliefs that you have because of something that happened to you when you were a child. From 0 to 5, 6, 7 years old, that's where your subconscious mind is forming. And anything negative that happens to you during that time will stick with you for the rest of your life, unless you heal it. Now, this technique I'm about to show you does not guarantee that your trauma will be healed. Sometimes you need professional assistance. It depends on how bad the trauma is and how was your reaction to it and how good you are in going to trance. We're gonna see about that later. I'm gonna talk about the technique in a second, but first we need to remind you of some points. The subconscious mind is 95% of us. The subconscious mind is basically running the show. The conscious mind is just 5%. So the subconscious mind is very important. We have talked about that in many previous videos. And one thing that you should know is that the subconscious mind is timeless. It doesn't have past or future. It only has the present. So whenever you think about something, the subconscious mind thinks that it is happening right now. And that is how we are going to trick it. Now listen to me carefully. Something happened to you back when you were a child, and it is now stopping you from manifesting what you want in the present time. So what you're gonna do is go back in time. This is impossible, of course, but for the subconscious mind, it is possible, and I'm gonna show you how. And heal it at the time when it happened, so that after healing it, the healing becomes part of the memory. Okay? The next thing to know is the hypnosis. You're gonna self-hypnotize yourself. Basically, you take yourself to a trance state. What is a trance state? It's similar to that point when you go to sleep, but you're not fully asleep and you're not awake. It's in between. You are aware of your surroundings, but you are not fully awake and you're not sleeping either. That's the trance state. So you should train your mind to go there. That is when you can open a connection with your subconscious mind, and where your subconscious mind is ready to accept suggestions and you can basically talk to it. Talking to the subconscious mind is not like talking to the conscious mind. And I guess you already know that. Anyway, there are several ways to take yourself into trance. If you don't know how, you can Google for YouTube channels that can help you self-hypnotize yourself. There are many techniques. If you want me to show you one of them, I can make a separate video about how to take yourself into trance. So when you reach that state of trance, in between being awake and being asleep, you recall that event, that negative event that happened in your childhood and that is stopping you from manifesting your desires. And you start reliving it, not just remembering it, relive it. You will know that you are reliving that moment because your body will start to generate the same emotions you lived. If you were scared, you will start also getting scared. Or you might have a new kind of reactions, like you feel like you are going to have a panic attack or something. That is when you know that you are reliving the trauma. Okay? Once you remember that event with every detail, that's where you have to heal it. How are you gonna heal it? Okay, there are several ways too. You can imagine yourself as a grown-up separately from your child self, and you can take your child self into your arms and reassure yourself. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, you make yourself as a child feel that it's gonna be okay, that you are going to live past this and you are going to get over it and everything is gonna be alright, because everything is alright. You grow up and you turn out to be, well, good to some degree. Anyway, or you can face the trauma yourself without bringing your adult self. Okay, so you can deal with it as a child, because when you are reliving the memory, you live it as a child, but you are also an adult, because it's just like a reincarceration of yourself into your child self. I guess this is too complicated anyway. So, two ways. You either become the child as an adult, or you come as an adult to and meet your child self and heal your trauma. I cannot give you a formula that will work for each case, because each case is different, but you will start to know how you are going to deal with it. If you can't, or if you start to have some kind of extreme emotions, stop the process and wake up, because at that point you will need professional assistance. This technique, I told you, does not guarantee that your trauma will heal. In many times you will need professional, but you can try it. Try it and see. If it works, then fine. If it doesn't, then you will have to look for another way. If it doesn't work for the first time, that's fine. You can try it another time. If you can't take yourself into trance from the first time, it also takes practice. Just train yourself and do it several times. So how would you know that the trauma is healed? It's when your emotions become softer. If you get scared when you relived the memory in your mind at first, and then at the end you are less scared or not scared at all, it means that your trauma is either healed or it's in the process of healing. Or if you start having positive emotions instead of negative emotions. After that, if you want to test it, remember it after waking up from trance and living your life. If you remember the memory and it's still as painful as it was before, then it's still not healed. But if it's less painful, if you can remember it without any problem, then it's good. You're in the right path, because the healing will become part of the memory. The subconscious mind is timeless, so it will feel like you went back to time and you put a band-aid on the trauma. You healed it, and the healing becomes part of the memory. When you remember it, you remember it as something that happened and that has less impact on your life. I hope that I said everything. First thing, go into trance if you don't know how. Search for videos that teach you how to go to trance, or use YouTube videos that you can follow, that you can listen to and follow. They will take you to that trance state when your subconscious mind is responsive. Once you are there, relive the memory, the trauma. If you can't, if you find it difficult, then stop. Don't force it. If the trauma is too much to handle for you, just stop the process, because you will need an external help. You will need a professional assistance. If not, then it's good. Relive it. Pay attention to all the emotions. If you want to heal it, you either heal it as a child when it happened, or bring yourself as an adult to meet your child self as kind of support and heal the trauma back when it happened. I can't tell you how, because I need to know your case. So try to be creative and find a way to deal with the trauma, to face it, to face your fears, to face your abuser, to face whatever that caused that trauma in the first place. And then go back gradually to the waking state. You will know that the trauma is healed if it feels less painful or not painful at all once you remember it, because the healing will become part of the trauma. Try it and tell me how it goes, and thank you for watching.